Hello everybody, my name is Stacy. Welcome into my channel, The Liminal Space. This is the fourth day of our, what I'm calling our Eclipse shadow work readings. And I've just really been called to do that for this eclipse this season, which completely caught me unawares. But my guides are like prodding me and doing it. And they told me to grab this deck today, even though I was like, I'm not going to use that deck. And then here I am using this deck. So the deck that we're using for these readings is the Feral Psychic, and it is by Safarah Starchild. And it is wonderful. And it was interesting how it came into my life, and then I immediately opened it up and I was like, this is a shadow work deck. This is a deck to help us process things that we don't even understand. And what better time to do that than during this intense Leo Aquarius window or eclipse cycle that we're in. So let's just cut the deck, find a card, and we have Validation Trap. Now this is interesting. This is not a card that I have pulled for myself in a personal reading. So it says validate. I hope that's focused. Trying to get that to focus. A validation trap. Approval is addictive, but it's a high that always crashes. You never feel that if you're building yourself from borrowed praise. I'm reading this sideways and I'm doing a really poor job about it. So I'm going to try again. Approval is addiction, but it's a high that always crashes. You'll never feel whole if you're building yourself from borrowed praise. Yeah, it's so wise, right? But we do look for validation from others. We do look for approval for others. Sometimes we just want acknowledgement of what we're doing, but we shouldn't need that. It does make us feel better, but then when it goes away, what are we left with? We're still in the same situation. What keeps you up in vibration, in frequency, is validating yourself. You know, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this shadow work, because we need to heal. We all need to heal. And if you only see one of these readings, then maybe that's the only one that you need to work on and heal. I'm going to look at every day of these readings as something that I can potentially work on to heal myself and make myself come out of this eclipse portal, which is kind of like going into a tunnel. You know, I mean, we are in the eclipse portal for 2 weeks, right? In this case, between the full moon and then the new moon. But then the energy lasts for 6 months. But this is the time right now to do the work and allow ourselves the space to heal in the next 6 months. So this is really interesting. They call validation a trap because it's saying it lifts you up for a moment, but once that moment is gone, you crash back down and you might even feel worse than you did before. So you'll never feel whole if you're building yourself from borrowed praise. So find a way to praise yourself and to believe it, because that will keep you uplifted. My name is Stacy. My channel is The Liminal Space. I will see you guys tomorrow.